Good evening, good evening, good evening. How's everybody tonight? Welcome to the Healing Project with myself, Tina, and Wendy.
Hey,
Hey, how was your day today, Wendy?
girl, it was good. It was good. It was
Good,
good.
good,
I
good, good,
can't complain.
good, good, good. We have an awesome
It's
topic
just,
tonight, girl. You know, it's one of them
man,
touchy
right?
topics. Touchy topics. You hear what I
Yes.
say? But
And
it
you've
is
been
something
seeing it a
that
little bit on Facebook too.
yes, yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
Mhm.
So we want to welcome you guys to the Healing Project on tonight. And tonight we are talking about jealousy in the womb. So this conversation will be a little tender. It will be uncomfortable for some, but it is necessary. So we're
Yes.
talking about something many women feel, even like myself, but we have struggled to name it. So it's called jealousy in the womb. And before we get started, I'm going to go into our poem.
Okay.
So here we go. Jealousy in the womb, before I had a name, before breath baptized my lungs. I floated in a chamber where silence had a pulse. I did not know language, but I knew rhythm. I knew when the heartbeat raced. I knew when it trembled. The womb was warm, but warmth is not the same as welcome. Somewhere between formation and feeling, I sensed it. A tightening, a resistance, a grief that was not even mine, wrapped
Mm.
itself around my becoming. Was I a reminder? Was I a reflection? A prophecy she wasn't ready to see. I was
Mm.
not yet a daughter, but already a comparison. Tiny fingers curled around unspoken tension, tiny feet pressed against walls that whispered, will she outgrow me? I grew anyway, cells multiplying inside a story that began long before me. Women who swallowed their shine, girls who learned to shrink, mothers who never met their own inner child. Jealousy is
Mm.
really loud in the womb. It does not shout, it seeps. It rides the bloodstreams, it hums in hormones. It settles into the nervous system like a question mark. And so I was born with a hunger I could not name. Why did celebration feel unsafe? Why did my life feel heavy in her presence? Why did achievement taste like apology? I learned to dim. I learned to fold. I learned to make myself smaller so love would not feel threatened. But light does not die quietly, it waits. One day I
Mm.
placed my hand over my own womb, empty yet full of awareness, and I felt the echo. This ends here. I'm not my mother's mirror. I'm not her unfinished dream. I'm not her competition. I am her continuation with choice. Jealousy may have brushed my beginning, but it does not own my becoming. The cord has been cut, the patterns named, the silence broken. And in this place where tension once floated, I plant something new, blessings, healing, freedom. What entered the womb does not get the final word. I do.
Yeah, that was good.
Thank you, thank you,
That was
thank you,
good.
thank you, thank you, thank you. And
Yeah.
tonight's topic is jealousy in the womb. Again,
Yes.
this conversation will be tender. It may be uncomfortable for some, but it's truly necessary. And so Wendy and
Mm-hmm.
I are going to be discussing this topic and chime in as you see fit, comment as you see fit. If it hits home,
Mm.
comment. But we're all here and we want to disclose this. This is a safe place. This
Yes.
platform is a safe place for you. It's a safe place for us as well. But it's a
Yes.
place where it's non-judgmental. We're not here to judge you by far
Right.
because at the end of the day, I have not a heaven nor a hell to put you in. But again,
Right.
this is a safe place. So feel welcome to share and if you're not quite sure yet, because I know you want to test the waters, it's okay to sit back and to listen. But come back again and
Mhm.
join us because we're here every second and every fourth Monday of the month at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
Pacific Standard Time. So, Wendy, are you ready to dive into this topic?
Yes, let's get it.
Let's go.
Let's
Let's
get
go.
it.
Let's go. So, what did you think about this topic, Wendy, when I brought it to you?
So, so when you brought it to me, remember I told you I said I thought that was funny because I had just saw something on Facebook
Mm-hmm.
and it was, it was a lady that cut her daughter's hair off. And
Yes.
right
Yes.
then, when she was cutting her braids off, I was like, this woman is jealous of this poor girl. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
she was disguising it as she was being disobedient, but she
Mm-hmm.
told the real reason because she thought she was pretty.
Mm.
And so I'm like, even though she cut her hair off, the girl was still pretty.
Right.
You didn't
Right.
change,
Right.
you didn't change how she looked. You just thought you was publicly humiliating her, but
Right.
she still was pretty. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
so for me, I can't really speak from a point of a mother being jealous of her daughter because I got
Okay.
two beautiful daughters. I got a
Okay.
chocolate one and a caramel one, and both of them is beautiful, you know. And
She
so
said Bobo.
both of them, seriously, both of them are beautiful. And when I was, when I had them, it was like it was just instant love, and how
Mm,
you cared for them and how
mm.
you did their hair and,
Right.
dressing them up like a Barbie doll. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
You be to change their clothes by 4, 5 times,
Right.
and putting barrettes in their hair and all of that stuff. So it
Sister Boo.
wasn't never me ever feeling jealous. It
Okay.
felt love, because I'm like, man, I got some beautiful daughters, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And like I got
Right.
beautiful grandbabies and granddaughters as well, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I'm like, I can't look at it from that standpoint,
Okay.
but I can understand, for me, I was taken from my mom when I was 9 years old. And
Okay.
so the person that my dad ran off with, that person, really chipped at my self-esteem. And I had
Mm,
very low self-esteem, coming up because I was
okay.
very sheltered. I was,
Okay.
you know, when you get older, your body is changing, but you're not
Right.
thinking of it, you know what I'm saying? But they looking at it, you know what I'm saying, and trying to
Right.
shelter you from the world and stuff. And so I didn't really see myself until I got out of the home, and I think I was maybe like 20 when I
Mm,
started seeing what other people saw,
okay.
because it
Okay.
was, all of this attention was foreign to me.
Mm-hmm.
And, like I said, I had low self esteem, so I didn't see what other people saw.
Right.
And
Right.
so once, I was able to see that, I was like, oh, okay, I'm cute, you know? And so,
How cute. I'm cute.
like, I'm cute, okay? And
Right.
so, from then on, it became, me caring about, my appearance as far as making sure I kept my hair up,
Okay.
and I always had to make sure I smelled good. That was all my two things. My hair had to be right and
Okay.
I had to smell good. And
Mm-hmm.
so I was talking to my chocolate daughter the other night, and she said, Mom, I don't never think I ever smelled you stink. And I just started laughing. She said she told somebody that. She said, I don't ever think I ever, she said, my mom ain't never stank. And it was like people
Mm,
that I knew, and I would see them probably like 10, 20 years later, and they hug me and they say, "Oh, you
Mm-hmm.
still smell good." But that was always my thing.
Mm,
It wasn't for other people, it was for me. That's how I
right.
felt, my comfort zone. You know what I'm saying? And so when I see, when you could recognize another person, doing something to their daughter, and you could see, the jealousy and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it be disheartening, and it be like, why would you want to compete with your own flesh and blood? Because there's no reason to, because that's a product of you. You should be happy, that you created something beautiful. To me, that's how I feel. So um we having a little bit of technical difficulty. Just bear with us. But if there's anyone out there that feel the same way like me, you didn't feel that type of way towards your daughters. You thought it was a beautiful thing, but there's also situations where
Yes. So,
like I said, I seen on Facebook how the public humiliation. I just don't think that
mm-hmm.
that's a good thing, because you're causing more trauma. You know what I'm saying? And
Right. And
then
I agree with you. Y'all, this internet is acting crazy.
yeah, that
This, I
grid
don't know,
is
the wind is
blowing
blowing,
out here
the wind
real
is
bad.
blowing. So again, we apologize for the interruptions, but please stay with us. It is a topic that is much needed. It may be uncomfortable, as we mentioned before, but it is a much needed conversation that needs to be had. And I know Wendy was talking about her story with her and her daughter, but this topic is because I hear so many women in our age group that's around our age that has been talking about the way they feel the relationship is with their mothers. They
Mhm.
feel as if it's a competition. They feel like you was mentioned about the story of the lady that cut her daughter's hair off, jealousy,
Mhm. Yeah.
because she feel some mothers feel like their daughters are prettier than they are, or they have more things going for them than they do. So
Mhm.
they're right there, creates the tension, creates that wall between the two, the mother and the daughter. But in my world, I would never, ever, ever, ever compete against my daughter. For one,
Right.
um, I would never make my daughter feel less than. For two,
Right.
just because she may be doing better than I am.
So we would want them to be better than us, do things more than what we have.
To do
Yeah.
better than what they've done in their past, right? So it doesn't
Mhm.
really make sense to me. But on this topic, I experienced this. So it hit home. It hits home because
Yeah.
it's a I would say my mother and I have a love hate relationship. She loves me so much,
Please bear with us. This wind is blowing so bad out here, and it's messing with the internet. And it keep glitching. Like she was saying, she has a love-hate relationship with her mom. And sometimes
and I felt the rejection from her. I felt the not wanting to be in her presence. So it was kind of difficult for me growing up with my mom, because she was, and I'm not trying to bash my mom in any kind of way. I want that to be known, but this is my story. This is what I had to endure, and for me to share it, it's also healing for me to share it. But I know there's other women out there that are have gone through certain situations with their mothers, and not knowing and questioning as to why. Why
Mhm.
am I getting treated like this? Why am I Why is you feel like your mother don't love me? What did I do for her not to love me? Or she only loves me when it's feasible for her, or when she see other people around watching. So what kudos that she can receive, or accolades that she can receive. And again,
Mhm.
a lot of women around our age has or is experiencing this.
Yeah. And I think too, because um young teenagers had kids young, so
Mm-hmm.
the baby kind of derailed their future plans, or what they wanted to do in life, and so there's
Right.
resentment. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
then too, it may be resentment because it spoiled the relationship with the dad, because maybe he
Mm-hmm.
didn't want her to be pregnant. You know what I'm saying? And so
Mm-hmm.
now here she is, he done left, but she's still with this baby that she has to take care of.
Right. Right.
So, and or the child looks just like him,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a constant reminder to her, of her trauma. But
Right.
we just have to learn how to, not pass on those things, that hurt us, pass it on
Mm-hmm.
to our children. We have to break that cycle,
Right.
like I know for me, it was always important that I let my kids know I love them. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Because I didn't get that coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like I was always telling them I love them. I was always like writing love letters and stuff and showing
Okay.
signs of affection. So
Mm-hmm.
that was my way of breaking that cycle. You know what I'm saying? And
Right. Right.
so we just have to each, because when you have kids, they don't come with manuals. None of us came with a manual.
Right. Right. Right.
you know. So you're learning, it's an ongoing process of learning. And
Right.
so when you become a parent, when you're a teenager or a young woman and you don't have
Mm-hmm.
any kids, it's easy for you to, judge how your parent treated you,
Mm-hmm.
because they was trying to do the best that they could with what they had. Because like I
Right.
say, nobody comes with a manual.
Right.
So
Right.
when you have children, then you kind of understand, because you're
Mm-hmm.
in that place, because
Mm-hmm.
you're learning on your own how to parent your child, because everybody
Right.
has a different way of parenting. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
And we all have to figure it out some kind of way.
Right. True.
And
On
so,
that. True.
you
True.
know, and just because my way may have worked for me, it may not work for you or for
Right.
the next person. Everybody
Right.
have to find their own way of parenting,
Mm-hmm.
but you do have to give some type of grace,
And
you
you talk
know.
about grace, but I'm gonna back up. I'm finna spin the wheel.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, okay. So okay, Grace, granted, yeah, and like you said, manuals don't I mean parenting doesn't come with a manual. I understand that.
Mhm.
But when you have a a parent who came from a parent who did not show this type of abuse or did not show this type of neglect, then we wonder as to where did this person get it from, right? Your parent get it from.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
you're constantly trying to validate and trying to get that love from that parent, but the parent
Mhm.
is totally opposite. And then when you find out that your parent really didn't want you,
Yeah.
actually
And
tried
see,
to abort you.
that's what I was talking about. You may have come in during a time where it may not have been feasible for you to
Mm-hmm.
have been born. You know what I'm saying? So there goes the resentment, there goes the where if I didn't get pregnant, I wouldn't have to go through this, I wouldn't have had to go through
Right.
that. And, you know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? And there
Yep.
goes, here this baby is put in the middle of this relationship
Uh
that you
huh.
thought was great until you brought up a pregnancy. Then you
Mm-hmm.
found out it wasn't so great. He didn't love you
Or the
so much.
relationship could have been, or the relationship could have been good. It just could have been
Yeah,
something on the inside of her.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? And so it's just a lot.
it,
It's just a lot. It's just
it,
a lot
it,
of factors.
it is. It truly is a lot. But and I only bring this up because so many, again, so many women in our era
Hmm.
has experienced this.
Yeah.
So and I'm thinking like, was it something in that era? But on the serious note, now when you
You know,
have,
in that era, things was swept under the rug.
yes, ma'am, it was.
You
What
know what I'm
happened in this
saying?
house
So,
stays in this house.
yes,
Yes, yes. But then the
yeah,
trauma goes on because now if that parent has unhealed trauma, and as we
hmm,
read earlier, we know that the trauma while the mother is carrying the fetus is transferring that emotion to that child already before the child is
yeah,
even brought into this world, right?
yep,
So
hmm,
so on that, so now mama's traumatized. Now the child is now traumatized because
yep,
it wasn't to his or her saying, "Oh, I don't want to be traumatized. I don't want to have nothing to do with what you got going on," but because
hmm,
as a mother that the child is being fed through the umbilical cord.
yes,
And not only that, so whatever emotion that the mother's going through, whether she's been, even if she's been in a domestic violence situation, she's feeling that child is feeling all of that
feeling
emotion that's
all of
going
that.
on the inside of the mother,
Yeah,
and then it's passed on. Now, back in our time that therapy was frowned upon, so
yes,
a
it
lot
was.
of our people did not go to therapy because again, it was frowned upon. And then on that note, then because they didn't take you to go get therapy. So now you're carrying your unhealed trauma into now you're becoming a mother.
Yes,
Some people didn't know how to go get that therapy because it was never talked about in the home. So
right,
now they have this child. So now they on this unhealed trauma that they have on the inside of them. Now they pass it on to their child, which I did. I
right,
passed it on to my child because again, therapy was not talked about. And
hmm,
so and I thought, okay, if I did not think about it, it would go away. But not
yeah,
knowing that my trauma is now affecting my children. And that's what happens
mhm,
as parents. Our unhealed trauma is passed down to our children. And sometimes it's been generation to generation. Now you had
yeah,
this mother, your grandmother, mother, and I mean it can go all the way back. But at some point,
yeah,
somebody's gonna have to say, okay, I'm gonna stand up and I'm finna fight for the family. I'm finna war for the family. I'm finna pray for the family. I'm finna intercede for the family. So that way this stops here with me now.
yes, yes. That's true. And it's like like sometimes your decisions that you make, you're thinking it's for the better, but then you don't find out until later that it wasn't perceived that way. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like certain decisions that you made in allowing certain things to happen, that later you find out from your child that it wasn't the right decision. But at the time, you're not thinking that. You don't know that. But you thinking it's for the best. Cause I like I know for my just bear with us. We having a little technical difficulty. She'll be right back with us. She had to click out and come back on. But yeah, like with my caramel daughter, I allowed her to go be with her dad and her grandmother, and she thought I should have put my foot down more and making her stay. But to me, I felt like I was giving her an opportunity to be with her grandmother and have a relationship with her granny. And her granny loved me for that. I put my own feelings aside and I allowed her to be with her granny, and right now we're healing, and I am allowing God to heal that relationship, where she doesn't feel like I abandoned her or anything. But, at the time, we think we're doing the right thing. But, later you find out that they didn't feel that way. And, like I said, we don't come with manuals. And I can publicly apologize for any mistakes that I made as raising my children, because I'm not going to say that I was the best parent in the world. Of course not. None of us are. But where, I had to learn on my own. I didn't have someone guiding me and showing me you're supposed to do this way, you're supposed to do that way. I was doing that all on my own. And then, later in life, when Christ came into my life, things changed and I changed. And now I'm happy that they get to see the woman that Christ changed and me living in Christ. And so, I've had many conversations, and sometimes those conversations they not easy, but you have to be receptive, you have to be open, you have to, hear what the other person is saying, and you got to hear from their standpoint, and you got to be able to be open to know that, hey, okay, they felt this way and their feelings are valid. You can't just discredit their feelings because their feelings are valid. And so, by you being vulnerable and by you being open and honest and letting everything out, you're just doing the best that you can. And
Right.
so, I've had to, I've apologized. Because like I said,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't, no perfect parent. Nobody is. But I've apologized because I realized that Phyllis was hurt. And so you can't invalid
Mm-hmm.
feelings because they are their
Right.
feelings. So you have
Right.
to be open, even though it may hurt your feelings or whatever, what you hear, it's
Mm-hmm.
okay because that's healing. That's healing. So
Yes.
now that, like I said, I have Christ in my life and been having him in my life for the past 30 years, and they've been able to see that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you know, I'm a whole lot different. My temperament is a whole lot different. My I don't want to say well, yeah, stance is
Okay.
different, because I'm coming from a stance of Christ. But me loving my
Mm-hmm.
grandbabies, love them the same way I love my children with all my heart, you know what I'm saying? And it's like
Right.
healing
Right.
is able to take place when you're able to have open and honest conversations and not invalid
Right.
the other person's feelings, even though you have to hear how they felt, because like I said, you may have been thinking you're
Yes.
making the right decisions for them. And then when you come back later,
Mm-hmm.
when they
Mm-hmm.
become adults and they tell you, hey, this is how I felt, you got to take that on the chin. You got to. You got
But
to take it on
you
the
said
chin.
something. You said something that was very profound. You said an honest conversation. Some
Hmm.
parents are not willing to have honest conversations with their children.
But you have
Some
to.
parents are not even right. And some parents don't even want to
You have to.
apologize for things that their children are
Exactly.
sharing with them. And that's where that they still gonna have that disconnect, because now you have a parent
Mm-hmm.
that's not even willing to acknowledge the fact that he or she did what they did to their child, or make, or how it made their child feel, because it's everybody's perception. You may be thinking,
Yeah.
like you said, that you were doing the right thing at that point in time, right? But then you may
Mm-hmm.
have your child who now are adults thinking something totally different than what you've been thinking.
Yeah.
You be like, no,
And
mom, no,
sometimes you
no,
may be
no, no, dad.
blindsided by it. Sometimes you be
Right.
feeling like you blindsided by it, and you like, hey, wait a minute. But then you have to stop and you have to take a deep breath,
You
and
do
you got to be like, look, I can't invalidate that person's feelings
validate their
because
feelings.
those are they feelings. And
But
if you
that
love
goes for,
them,
that shows you that you are mature. Because again,
yeah,
I'm just playing, I'm playing the opposite the fence. Because you have
yeah,
some parents that's just not willing to do that. They're just not willing to say,
mm-hmm,
okay, baby, I was wrong. Now when I did, when my
mm-hmm,
boys were older, I did apologize. Matter of fact, I apologized to them 3 times. Because
mm-hmm,
again, and I expressed to them, like you said, parenting does not come with a manual. So you're learning day by
yeah,
day as you go. And yes, you're going to make mistakes. Yes, things are not going to come out peachy clean. Yes, things are going to be done that you have to make that decision right then when you thinking is right as a parent. But then it may
mm-hmm,
affect your child, and your child's probably like, why did mama do that? Why did daddy do that? Oh, no,
yeah,
that didn't make any sense. But again, like you said, honest conversation. And again,
mm-hmm,
some parents are just not willing to sit down with their child and really having heart to heart to say, okay, baby, this is what I've been through in my life. This
yeah,
is what I had to deal with. But and I know I may have done things some in the wrong way or wrong manner that you may feel, and I apologize. But at that point in time, I had to do what I had to do as a parent, even
mm-hmm,
though you're moving in a broken state. And I want to share that. I want to throw a little thing in real quick. My book will be released on March 11th, and it's talking about parenting from a broken place, because
okay,
oftentimes many parents, we do parent from a broken place.
yeah,
Many times as parents, we are trying to figure out who we are, where do we go wrong, what piece go here, what piece goes
yeah,
there, who did I offend, or how can I mend this over here, or how can I provide for this over here, and we're moving, and as we're moving, sometimes we're moving and we're numb as we're moving.
yeah,
Sometimes we're moving and we're disconnected and we're moving. Sometimes because of the broken state, we don't even know how to love our children the way they need to be loved. But we're still
yeah,
moving. We're still moving. We're providing, and we think just by providing is what all that they need. They need your presence. They need you to be available. They need you to
yeah,
sit down and listen to them. And sometimes, as parents, we don't sit down. We don't listen
right,
to our children. We don't have an open door policy. We is what I say goes, and that's it.
yeah. And you can't be like that. You can't be like that. You just
No,
can't. You know, you can't because if you're not open to have honest conversations, then the line of communication is cut off because they don't really want to talk to you because you're not being receptive. You know what I'm
right,
saying? Like
right.
when I had the conversation with my caramel daughter,
Mm-hmm,
she asked me before we even talked, she's like, "Mom, I want to talk to you, but
mm-hmm,
I want to know if you're going to be receptive."
mm,
Yes. She was
yeah,
like, "Don't hold back. Tell me everything." I don't have a problem with doing that.
mm-hmm,
And that's exactly what I did,
right,
and it's still going
right.
to be an ongoing conversation, but I'm doing it when she's ready to talk and when she's,
Ready.
open and ready and stuff. But when she does reach out, I am open, I am receptive,
Right,
and I will
right.
have those conversations with her. You know what I'm
But
saying?
that's bringing healing to your family, though. You're
Yeah,
able to both as adult women, you both are able to come to the table, and you're both able to have that open communication. So I want to share this, and then I'm gonna say something. Then I want you to comment after what I'm going to talk about.
Okay.
This is to the parents. What I'm about to say, and you're probably going to say, "Who am I to say what and what?" I'm going to tell you because I am, and I'm going through now, trying to or wanting to repair my relationship with my children because they didn't feel as if I made good choices as they were coming up. And that again stemmed from brokenness. Again, that came from my foundation being broke as a child coming up, where it was abuse. Um,
Mhm.
there was mental, emotionally, and physical abuse that I had to go through. It was, and I'm not playing no pity party because it made me who I am today. But what I'm
Mhm.
sharing to you, parents, is this: I get it sometimes that life be happening sometimes. I get that you have to work and you provide, but even if it's 5 minutes, spend them 5 minutes with your kids because in those 5 minutes, you can learn a whole lot about what happened in their day, what they had to
Mhm.
deal with in their day. I get it. Sometimes you be tired because that's the mistake I made. I made that mistake because I was tired, because I was working. I was trying to provide for my kids because I didn't get any help from their father. So I was trying to do what I felt was right for my kids at that point in time. Now did I get backlash for it? Yeah, I got backlash because I was told I wasn't present for them. So what I'm
Mhm.
trying to do, I'm trying to reverse it for any parent that is listening, whether you're young, whether you're old. And if you're old and you're an older woman, don't think as if nobody can share anything with you. People share things with you only because they're trying to keep you from going down that same road that they went through that caused havoc and
Mhm.
would cause hurt and pain. So, but I get it. Everybody's not going to want to listen. Everybody's not going to want to take heed or be as receptive to the information. But if I just hit one person and what I say tonight touches one person, I done my job. And I'm
Mhm.
sharing to you mothers this: take time with your children and be very careful who you allow to come into your home. Be very careful what
Mhm.
male figure
Yes,
you have
that
coming
part.
into your home. I say that because when you bring a man into your home, your children is watching. They're watching everything that you do. And when they get older, they're going to mimic what you do. And I'm going to say
Mhm.
that because it's true. You may say, oh, they're not going to do what I say. I'm telling you, your children will mimic what you do.
Mhm.
Your children will mimic what you say. Your children will mimic. And if you have a daughter, your daughter's going to mimic the same men that you had coming and out,
Yep.
in and out of your home. And if you have young men, they're going to see what type of men you come in the household. If you have a man that didn't work and you allowed to stay in that house while you was out working, what you going to think they're going to do? If you have a man that's in
Yep.
your house and sitting there getting high all day, what do you think your kids are going to do? If you have a man that's sitting there
Mhm.
getting drunk all day, what do you think your kids are going to do? If you have a man that's walking in there sagging their pants, what do you think your sons are going to do?
Yep.
So if you want somebody to be a role model, get somebody that's is worth being a role model.
Yep.
Don't just get a man that says, "Oh, I have a man. I got a piece of man in my bed,"
Mhm.
because that piece of man can tear your whole house up. That piece of a man can tear the
Mhm.
mind of your young man, of your young woman. That piece of a man that you say that you have can destroy a life. I won't say a lifetime because God can reverse and heal. But in that present time, until you recognize and you realize that what you're doing is unethical and is not right, then you're going to deal with some issues because now you had opened the door to men that are not good role models, and now your children are going to mimic.
Mhm. And you can open them up to trauma too because you don't know that man.
Right.
You know what if while you sleep, he's sneaking in messing with your daughters or your sons.
Or your
You
son,
have to
yeah.
think about all that. You know what I'm saying? Cause
That's it.
you can't leave your kid with no any man just cause you going to work and he babysitting. Guess what he getting? He mad cause he babysit. He not gonna treat your baby right. You know what I'm saying? Even though he needing that place to stay, but he want
Come on.
that place to stay without him doing anything. You know what I'm saying? And then here your kids running around and stuff, and he get irritated. What you think he finna do?
And
Put
he's
his
eating your
hands on
kids'
your
food.
kid?
He's
Yeah.
eating your children's food.
You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, where they do that at?
Yeah.
No, 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 no,
But
ma'am.
again, that
It's
comes from
like,
brokenness. Again, because you
yeah,
don't know. Sometimes our parents don't, and it's not the bash, but sometimes our children are not taught. And we cannot fault our
mhm,
children for not acting or doing a certain thing or acting a certain way because they have not been taught. We cannot be
mhm.
mad. And I remember back in the day, Wendy, like in our neighborhoods, we had, if you did something, Miss Joe down the street then got you, or to
Oh,
pull you
she
to the
sure
side, baby,
did.
pull your slip up, baby, go wipe your face,
Okay,
baby, keep your dress down, baby. But now we have women that don't you say nothing to my daughter, don't you say
okay.
nothing to my son, but your son is out
They
here
don't
flipping
want,
off grown folks,
yeah, they don't want you correcting them. You know what I'm saying?
and
But
sometimes
back
people
then,
doing,
we was corrected. You got towed up by them. You
huh,
got home. You got towed up at home.
uh-huh,
And any adult that came to the house and they told what you did, you got towed up by them too. And by the
yeah,
time they got finished with you, you ain't do that stuff no more. Cause you had too you went through too much for that
yes,
one little
yes.
crime that you did. But now, because of these young mothers, you can't tell the kids nothing.
But
They
you
go
had
to
some older
school.
mothers too like that though.
Yeah, you go to school. The kids go to school.
Oh
My
yeah.
mama said, "You can't tell me what to do," and they want to
Hmm.
put their hands on the teacher. And
Yes,
it's
ma'am.
like, come on now, where they? No, no,
Ma'am.
no, no, no.
Yes,
See,
ma'am.
back then when we was going to school, they had them paddles with the holes in it.
Yes,
Remember
ma'am.
them? The
Yes, ma'am.
principal,
Went to
and
Catholic
you had
school.
to lean over, and you
Mhm.
got popped a couple of times. You know what I'm saying? And
Yes, Lord.
so you know what I'm saying? It's just it's baffling, now that these teachers that love to teach and love to, want to turn your child's life around, they have to worry about getting jumped on.
Oh, they walking away now, honey, because they don't. Some of them teachers
Yeah,
don't
they
want to deal
leaving
with
the
it.
profession. They
Right.
leaving the profession because there's no respect no more. You know what I'm
None.
saying? And it's like it can't be like that. And it's like, how is it I'm going to work and I'm teaching your kid, and it's okay for your kid to cuss me out and
Hmm.
to hit me,
Mm-mm.
and I ain't supposed to do nothing.
Mm-mm. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
And it's like, come on now, no,
Yeah.
no, 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 no. They don't have no respect, and when they don't have no respect for authority, they ain't gonna have no respect for you either.
They don't
Because
have
you're
that
gonna try
part.
to tell them something, and they gonna tell you what gone and what for, and haul off and hit you too. Then what
Hmm.
you gonna do?
And it's
Because
it's
you don't
truly
let them.
sad. It's truly sad that it's come to that. But what's more concerning is the fact that a daughter feels that she's in competition with her mother.
Yeah,
It's
you
truly
got
sad
these
that
mothers. They trying to dress like the daughters. They trying to
yes,
go out instead of
yes,
being a mother. They trying to be their friend.
they friend.
You know what
Yes,
I'm saying?
yes,
And they
yes,
trying to get their men's and stuff because they see
yes,
how the men is treating the daughter. So now she want to sneak in and you know what I'm saying? Oh, crazy stuff.
and
But all of this stuff is biblical. You know what I'm saying? It's
yes,
said in the last days
it
that it was
is,
gonna
it
be
is.
this type of stuff. You know,
Yes, mothers
it's
against daughters and
crazy.
sons against fathers.
You
But
know, it's
jealousy is
crazy.
not jealousy is not loud. So, it's
Mm.
not like it's gonna be in a big old neon light,
No,
you know.
it creeps.
But just like you said about the video that you watched where the mother cut the baby girl's hair off, but she said it was because of her acting out or doing something, a behavior issue, right? So that
Yeah.
was something subtle. She didn't want to just come out and say, "Well, you beautiful, you prettier than me, so I'm gonna cut your hair." No, she
Hmm.
did it in a way saying, "Oh, well, you're acting out, so I'm gonna cut your hair."
But then she did say, because all you thinking about is being pretty.
And she told
And
on
so,
herself.
you know what I'm saying? And when I heard that, I said, that's why she did it, because she just caught the little girl off guard. She just started
Yeah,
cutting. You know what I'm saying? You ain't had no conversation.
right.
And the fact that you set up a camera to do all of
You
this,
knew what you was gonna do. You knew what you was gonna do.
you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
like I
and
said, the little girl is still cute.
yeah, she's
With
still
short
cute, but
hair, she's
in her
still
mother's
cute.
eyes, she believed that she was doing something great, not knowing your hair do grow back, and some people
Okay?
do nice with their hair cut off. But
Man,
and saying that, as we said, it's subtle, so it may show up later. It may not show up right now or when they're born, but it shows up later as they get an
later
adult.
in time, as they're growing up and they seeing their bodies change, you know what I'm saying? They're seeing their figures. They may be upset because she has a better figure than she had. You know what I'm saying?
And
Or
sometimes it's
she,
not even about appearance. It can be about the education. It can be about the
yeah.
knowledge. It can be about
Hmm.
what she's doing in her life, And like you said earlier, the mother, maybe the child came at a point of time where the mother was not ready for the child, but yet the mother felt that, oh, now I
Hmm.
have a child, it's interfering with what I want to do. And so
Yeah.
now the daughter is moving and doing certain things in her life and doing things in the community. And now the mother's like, how she,
Oh,
how she doing
I
that? Like,
wanted
why
to
she
do
doing
that.
that? Right.
Like I
So,
wanted to do all that.
right, right. So, again, it's sad and that it comes to that, it has came to that. I never would have imagined if I had a daughter that I'll be in competition with her. Girl, I want you to be better than me. Do better than me. Be
Yeah.
better than me. Go out
I
there
used
and
to tell
shake
mom,
the world up.
sky's
See,
the limit. You don't have kids,
yeah,
girly. Go out there and travel the world. See things,
yeah.
do things. You know
Have
what I'm
fun.
saying?
Have fun.
Don't be so, you know what I'm saying? I say, because once you have kids, you kind of stuck a little bit because you gotta
Yeah.
do what you gotta do.
So you got
But
to
when you
maneuver. You
ain't
got to
got
work
no kids,
extra
when
weight.
you ain't got no kids, do all the stuff that you ever want to do. Just do it. Sky is the limit.
Yes, yes, yes.
Sky
Let's
is
do
the
this for a
limit.
minute. Let's pause for
Okay.
reflection. So
Okay.
in this 5 minutes, we're gonna pause and we're gonna think about some things, and I'm gonna just cite some stuff out. Um, and just think to yourself. You won't have to blurt it out. Everybody that's watching or come back to watch the video. I want you all to do this as well. This is just a little activity, but we want to pause for a minute. And in this minute, I want you to think about, did you ever feel like you had to dim your light around your mother? Did you ever feel that as if you were celebrated, or were you just tolerated? Do you feel that when you succeed, you don't feel safe to share it with your mother? Or did you just shrink? Now pause, take a deep breath, and I want you to know that there's no shame here, only awareness. Now, what your mother's issues with you are is not your issue, it's not your fault, it's not your problem. That's something that
Right.
she has to deal with within herself. There's something from her childhood, from her life before you even came into the world, has something to do with what she has to deal with. And sometimes people don't deal with their issues. They try to hide behind the Bible, they try to hide behind Jesus. And Jesus wants you healed. He He don't want you to go through like keep maneuvering through life and pretending like everything's
Mhm.
okay and pretending that okay if I just stay focused on the Bible that what was done is null and void. No,
Mm-mm.
because at some point we
He'll
have to be
make you
delivered
deal
from
with
our
it.
issues.
He gonna
We
make you.
have to.
He gonna make you deal with it. He's
Yes,
going to.
yes, one way or the
No
other.
matter how, no matter how deep down you push it, he gonna bring it up.
Yeah,
He gonna
yes,
bring it up.
yes.
And for me, my blessing was when I came to Minnesota and I joined the church. It was called Holding Forth
Hmm.
Word of Life. And
Okay.
when I went there, I was broken. I mean, I was broken into pieces. You hear me? I
Mm,
was so broken. And so God blessed me with pastors, Dr. Rufus Thibodeau and Dr. Diane Thibodeau. And they
mm-hmm.
loved me to life. Do
Good,
you
good,
hear me?
good,
They
good.
loved me to life. God gave me them as my parents when
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even think I needed that. But they
Mm,
were right there. They loved me as
good,
if I was their very own daughter. And
good.
the love that I got from them, that
Mm-hmm.
healed my brokenness. And it
Mm,
helped me to value myself,
mm-hmm.
especially my spiritual dad. I could
Okay.
remember one Father's Day, he had all the single women line up, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so he went to each and every one of us and he apologized
Mm.
to us for all the things that whatever man did to you in your life.
Yes,
He
yes.
apologized. And that
Wow.
was the very day that God made him my dad.
Mm.
And he showed me how to value myself as a woman,
Mm-hmm.
how I'm supposed to be treated, and how
Okay.
he treated my spiritual mom.
Mm-hmm.
He taught me, he poured into me.
Okay.
That's why I'm the woman I am today.
Good,
That's
good,
why
good.
I've been celibate
Mm-hmm.
for going on 30 years
Okay.
because of how he helped heal me. And my
Mm.
spiritual mom, Apostle Diane Thibodeau, and
Mm-hmm.
she's still around. That's still my mommy. And she
She
I
said, still my
call her
mommy.
that's still my mommy. And she loves me. I mean, oh my God. She loves me like no other woman could love me as a mother. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
she took me under her wing and she taught me. She poured into me.
Mm-hmm.
She taught me all the aspects of ministry.
Okay.
And she always told me, whatever ministry gets you, you are a blessing to
Okay.
that ministry. You
Okay.
know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And that's where I get my armor bearer wings from. Because I was under her leadership and she
Okay.
taught us how to be women and she taught us about excellence. When you do
Mm-hmm.
things, do it to your very best.
That's
You
it.
know,
That's
don't have do
it.
nothing. And she used to always say, I don't like no wimpy women. She's like, you
Mm-mm.
gonna do something, you say it with your whole chest. You do not shoot down. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yes.
Yeah, your whole chest. You know what I'm saying? You stand up for yourself. And so she is a very she was a very big part of my life and still
Good,
is,
good,
you
good,
know.
good,
So
good.
I just thank the both of him, the both of them. My dad went on to glory, but he still, be around,
Mm.
pushing me on. But my mom, oh my gosh. I just love her to life. I love her
Awesome.
to life.
It's a blessing to have somebody that can pour into you like that. It's truly a blessing. There was a saying that they used to say, blood doesn't make you family. I mean, what is it? Was it blood doesn't make you family? Just because somebody doesn't have your blood does not mean that they're not your family. That they can't be your
No, you,
family
like I said,
because
you wouldn't have never thought
people
that she didn't birth me.
not,
Everybody knew I was her daughter. Yes.
yeah. And that's not, and it does, like I said, it doesn't mean you don't have to have the same blood or the same DNA for somebody to
Mhm.
love you. You be their family. But time is coming to the end. Before this was a good topic, and I know the wind had its way with some of the information going out. But before we
Okay.
leave on tonight, I want to share this. I want to share this. Healing begins with honesty. If you are a
Yes.
daughter, acknowledge your wound, name it, journal it, pray through it, seek therapy if needed. You are not crazy for sensing tension. And I want you to speak this to yourself. You are not too much. You are not a threat. You are not competition. You are a daughter and you deserve nurturing. And if you are a mother listening, you are not beyond redemption. Awareness is growth. Let this be the generation where daughters feel safe shining, mothers heal before projecting. Jealousy is confronted and not inherited. So tonight our topic was jealousy in the womb.
Yes.
And I pray that what was said from Wendy and I can resonate with somebody on tonight.
Yes.
Share it if you know there's a woman out there that is going or is experiencing this topic that we was talking about on tonight. Jealousy in the womb, that she feels that she's in competition with her mother, that she feels that she has to dim her light to be validated by her mother, and she feels that she has to, always pleasing her mother. I want you to know that you don't have to do those things because God validates you. God
Yes.
loves you. And God will heal you. Every wound that you have right now that was inflicted on you by somebody else, I speak life into you on tonight.
Yes.
I speak healing into you on tonight. You are no longer what was told to you. You are who God says that you are. You are wonderfully made, beautiful and wonderfully made. You are God's masterpiece. So don't forget that. Recite that to yourself on a daily. Write little post-it notes and stick it everywhere that you can see it that you walk by. You are not here by mistake. You are
Nope.
here because you have purpose. If you are
And
listening to this video on tonight, you have purpose.
perfect. And God got a plan for you.
That's it. That's it.
Mhm.
And what you've gone through or what you had to endure is
It's
what God is
all
going
for
to
the good.
use. Is going to use you in that area. So that way
Yes.
you can help other young women, other women in that same area that you had to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
So I pray that this was a good topic for you. Come back on the fourth Monday of this month at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We will have
Yes.
something else great for you in store. So you could always go back and watch our videos on YouTube. It's on
Yes.
YouTube University, and then also too on our Facebook page. So thank you
Yes.
for tuning in on tonight. And everybody have a blessed night. Anything you want to say, Wendy?
No, just everybody be blessed and just know that God got you. He got you. No matter what it is, he
All the
got you.
time.
He is still in
All the time.
control
God got you.
all the time.
Well, yeah. All right, y'all. Have a blessed night.
All right. Bye, you
Good night, good night,
guys.
good night.
Bye.